session of the Library Board of Trustees to order. We'll now move on to item 2, the Pledge of Allegiance. Jerry, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Jerry. We'll move on to item 3 on the agenda, the call to the public. Denise, do you have anything under the call to the public?
Not at this time, Chairman.
Okay, let's move on to item 4.
I have a call to the public.
If you have a call to the public, a board member cannot have addressed the board that he's on. But you can ask for your particular item that you have to be addressed. You can talk about it under item 5, or you can have it put as an agenda. But you cannot remove yourself.
Okay.
You have to remove yourself and go to the podium there, and a board or elected cannot do that.
Okay, I can do it in 5.
Okay, that's fine. All right, let's go on to item 4, discussion items. Number 1, Centennial celebration. Mr. Vanderbilt.
Thank you. The Centennial Committee meeting has not had a meeting since our last library board meeting. The meeting will be next week, and the May meeting will be next week on Wednesday. So there's nothing new to report formally. I can tell you that I have recruited a new member, Miss Elvira Franco, who is the office manager of First Yuma Bank. She's going to join the committee. And I believe Marva has solicited, and I don't know if she has received a donation from the Sedgwick family. Have you received it or just
promised? Not yet, but I saw him yesterday, and he said he just needs to talk to their board, and he's going to decide whether it's going to be personal from him or from the board.
Okay, so then we have a pending donation from a Sedgwick family, and that's really the only 2 accomplishments. Pardon?
J.B. Manson also.
J.B. Manson also what?
So he will also be a sponsor. So we have 2 sponsors.
He's got a sponsor. So we have another sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only informal information I have since we haven't had a meeting this month.
What time is the meeting next Wednesday?
Next 3 o'clock at the library. Not here. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Anybody else have any comments? Okay, let's move on to item 2, discussion and possible action to approve the minutes of April the 13th, 22 as presented. I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes of April the 13th, 2022 as presented.
I make that motion.
Okay, motion by Marva to accept the minutes of April the 13th, 2022 as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Nan. Discussion. Judy, once again, thank you for the good work that you do with the minutes. Appreciate it. If not, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Let's move on to item 3, Library Appreciation Day. Nan?
Yes, thank you. After I thought about this idea to appreciate our librarians and all the people who work in the library, I did a little bit of research on this. And as part of the National Library Week, there is a specific date that recognizes the National Librarian Workers Appreciation Day. And it gave us a little bit more thought, and I thought this might be, since it's already passed for this year, it's always in April, and April 16th is a designated day for that, we should probably consider rolling this into our celebration for next year as one event in our Centennial. And we could, there are various ideas that we could follow. It's a great way to get some public recognition of what the library workers do, and maybe we could get school kids to write letters to the library and tell them, how much they appreciate or what they think of the library in general. So I think if we put it on our agenda for the Centennial celebration, I think it might fit in nicely there as one event for next year. Any
Okay.
comments?
Nat?
I think it'd be a good idea to encourage the kids, if they write letters, to also take field trips. And we need to encourage the teachers to plan those, because a lot of the school kids don't take field trips to the library.
I did notice with, in this year's celebration that you did have some field trips from the schools. So yeah, to dovetail on that would be good. Right.
Brian, can you put that down on your next meeting of the Centennial? The request by Nan, I do support it also, and Marva supports it also, that we include some kind of recognition, maybe during the month of April of 23 for the current librarian and staff, and maybe the NICE could put up some, if they have any acknowledgments of past librarians there to acknowledge their efforts. So too, if you could take that up in your meeting.
I'll put that on the agenda.
Okay,
Great.
is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay, Nan.
Thank you. Mhm.
We'll move on. Item number 4, Sonoita Library Clerk position update. Danitza?
A new hire will begin on Monday, May 16th. Her name is Lynette Redmond, and she will have her orientation here at HR. She will then go to the Nogales Library, get her orientation packet, and she will officially start in Sonoita Tuesday, May 17th.
Tuesday, May 17th, which is next Tuesday.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you say the name Annette Redmond?
Lynette
Lynette?
Redmond,
Is she a resident of Sonoita or Nogales?
Sonoita.
Sonoita, she lives in the area. That's great. Yeah. And she had sufficient qualifications for your acceptance?
Yes.
Good.
Okay, nice update. Anybody have any questions on that agenda item anymore? Okay, let's move on to item 5, board reports. Current event summaries must be brief and there cannot be any proposal, discussion, deliberation, or legal action taken. Jerry?
I was in the library about 10 days ago, and I asked the librarian at the desk if I could use the restroom, and she said it wasn't available. So I simply asked management if I could use it, and I was told no, it's not available to the public. And when I asked if, I stated that I was on the board of directors, and I was told that I was considered to be a member of the public. So I think, that should be revisited, that policy. I did talk to someone in Pima County library system, and they said even during the pandemic, when the library was closed and they were giving books at the curbside, if someone wanted to use the restroom, they allowed it. So, and I know there's been a problem with homeless, but I think with a full-time maintenance person there, he could go to the restroom and spray sanitizer on the door and on the latch to the inside to the cubicle and the faucets, like every half hour. And I don't think it's welcoming. My response, I was told very politely, and my response was also very polite. I said I would go to Denny's restaurant and use the restroom at Denny's. But I think, if someone's there and they do need to use the restroom if they want to, they should be allowed. So that's my comment. And also, I think hopefully, a policy will be revisited regarding the drinking fountain, because I know that's been closed during the pandemic. But that too could be cleaned, every half hour or whatever, so that if someone's there and they don't have water with them, they don't have a bottle of water. I know other liquids are not allowed, but I think water is. But if someone doesn't happen to have a bottle of water, they really shouldn't need to go to Circle K to buy a bottle or to bring one from home. So I hope that could be reviewed too. So thank you.
Okay, we're not gonna have a deliberation on it, but in fairness, I'm gonna ask Danitza just to explain why the bathrooms were closed, just to explain that and end it there at that. And on the policy that Jerry has requested on the fountains. Jerry, if you could bring that up again on future agenda items so we can review that policy, okay? All right, Danita, just explain why the bathrooms are closed so that we can understand.
The restrooms have been closed because we've been having plumbing issues with both restrooms, and also we've had an uprise in incidents with patrons just misusing the bathrooms. And staff was very kind to Jerry and let him know that. And their issues, their internal issues, and they were explained. So other than that, there's nothing else.
So if you want to get a more discussion on this, besides that, please ask for it to be put on a future agenda item with a policy. Ryan.
Yes, I would like a future, specifically to the plumbing issue if the city is repairing the infrastructure of the building.
Okay, but that's a future agenda item?
A future agenda item,
okay,
yes.
that would be under item 7.
Correct.
Do you have anything for a board report?
No, I do not.
Okay. Marva? Nan?
No, not at this time.
And the only report that I have is that I attended the Easter egg hunt, and it was a marvelous activity. Seeing all those little kids and how they sit down there and the little gifts that they got, how much they enjoyed that Easter egg hunt. It was very well organized. Thanks, Danita, and the staff for that. Okay. Let's move on to Library Director's report. Danita.
Chairman, board members, the next 3 items will be talked about more thoroughly by our senior librarian, Denise Ortega.
So in the month of April, we had the Easter egg hunt and we had a microscope workshop. So like Dr. Varona mentioned, the Easter egg hunt was a success. We had a lot of kids. They got fruit, they got candy bags. So it was really nice. And we used the park that's outside the library. We took advantage of that space and we hid eggs all over the park, which was really nice. The microscope workshop was our first time working with big things with little kids. It was so nice. We're working on our STEM program right now. So that's part of the STEM. We have little things that have like human blood, the corn, we have feathers, and they were able to look into the microscope and look at the germs, and they were giving a handout where they had to draw everything they saw. So it was incredible to see that. The tiniest participant that we had, she was 3 years old, and she drew what she saw. So it was really nice. We're getting ready for a summer reading program. Right now it is completely packed, full. We don't have any more open spots. We're gonna have 2 at-home activities, and then we're gonna have 2 in-person activities at the library. We're gonna have a petting zoo, and we're gonna have the firefighters go to the library and talk about the importance of not playing with fire, and then they're also gonna get wet during the event. We've been super busy at the library with the school visits, the career fairs, the field trips. We've been having field trips from schools. So we had 3 career visits. We had Challenger, Desert Shadows, and Brecker this month. We had 2 school visits. It was Sunshine Preschool, and we had 2 classes from Colegio Petit. So it's incredible to see that there's a lot of, even the teachers were really interested in all of our programs because they didn't know we had the free tutoring. They did not know we had other branches around. So that was really nice. Nobody knew we had one in Sonorita. They just did not know. They're like, is there an actual building there? And we're, yes, there's an actual building at Sonorita. So we gave out library cards. We gave information about the tutoring program, like I said. So it's been really, we've been getting a lot of good feedback from the schools. And this is our first year going to the elementary schools, actually. We've been only going to the high schools, and now we've been getting invited to all the schools to talk about the programs. Do you have any questions?
Okay. Does anybody have any comments there for?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Yes, Denise. How many? You said the summer reading program is full. How many people have you got signed up for that?
We did 80.
80?
Yes.
In all the branches? Or?
Yes. Yeah, they were distributed around the branches.
Right. Super.
Good. Anybody else? Okay, let's move on to item 4, Teen Space Grant Update. Anita.
Staff and I have compiled a furniture list that will be ready to go once the new budget is ready on July 1st. Luis is already reaching out to different organizations to coordinate different programs. So he's reached out to the Boys and Girls Club and Circles of Peace. So they're getting ready to do some summer programs. More specifics, I'll let you know about more specific details at the next meeting when we have a set program.
Okay. 5, the ESSER 3 grant.
The Santa Cruz County School Superintendent's Office was awarded the ESSER 3 grant, and in it, the library is also included, and it's going to be able to, with that grant, we're going to be able to expand our tutoring services to Tubac and Sonoita, and there will also be a literacy bus that's going to be provided to the eastern part of the county. That's all I have right now with that. Tomorrow we have another meeting, and I will inform the board more of the details at the next meeting. But yeah, more good things for the libraries.
The literacy bus, who provides the bus?
It's going to be through that grant. It's a $5.6 million grant, and one of them is the literacy bus.
Okay.
You said 5.6 million?
Yes, 5.6 million.
ESSER 3 grant that you get.
Correct.
So there should be some good things that we need to stay on top of to make sure that Rio Rico and Sonoita get their share. Marva?
So is the ESSER grant only for library?
No, that grant is going to go through for all the schools throughout the county.
School
and the library is going to be included.
Okay.
So yeah, it's going to be distributed. It'll be distributed throughout the county. So.
Nat?
Yeah, is there a percentage of that grant? What percentage of that grant is going to the libraries? Do you know?
Not yet. I do not know that just yet. Tomorrow we have our first meeting.
Each school district got the ESSER 1, ESSER 2, and ESSER 3 grants. So this is something that the county school superintendent, I guess they were all eligible for this grant though too, but each school district got millions of dollars. That's the federal program for during the pandemic.
What does the ESSER stand for?
Educational secondary schools, elementary something, I forgot.
Okay, close enough.
Okay, let's move on to item 7, future agenda items. Future agenda items, Jerry?
Nothing.
Jerry, didn't you want to talk about the bathrooms? The bathrooms?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so then on that, you want to talk about the sanitation of the drinking fountains and the reason that bathroom was closed at that time, and see what
Well, yeah.
committee does.
I mean, it's an ongoing status.
Okay, we got those two. Anything else, Jerry?
No.
Brian?
Just following through with Jerry's request that the librarian give us a report on the city maintenance of the infrastructure of the building, including the plumbing and the restrooms.
Okay. Marva, the same? Nan?
Yeah, I'd like to just preliminarily discuss setting up some kind of a schedule for your media release. You've got so much good stuff going on. Maybe we could establish a calendar and I'm happy to help you with this, a calendar of stories that we could schedule to go to the Nogales papers. I know you're handling your social media greatly. Don't need any help there, but this might be good it would help. I think it would help the library if we kind of knew every month we're going to send something to the paper and pick out a particular project. So maybe we can talk about that further.
Alrighty, and then some other future day, maybe in August or September, I'd like to start looking over the bylaws and studying those bylaws, okay? See how we can tweak them up a little. All right, let's go over to agenda item 8. The date of our next meeting is June the 8th. At the June 8th meeting, there will be no study session, so we will be meeting at 10:30 here. At that time, and also you could put down there the update on the budget if something comes up with the budget there for that time though too, Danitza. And don't forget, please, July we will not be having a meeting, and then after July we will meet on August the 10th.
Why is there no meeting in July?
the last meeting, I brought it up that if it was all right with the board, that we not meet the month of July. And everybody concurred. It's now
Commission can still meet. Centennial.
10:50. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting at 10:50.
So moved.
Motion by Nan to adjourn the meeting at 10:50, second by Marva.
Second.
Discussion, objections, motion carried, and the meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Motion is on it. He's not very